Hello and welcome to the Beginner's Guide for Reading Charts. I will be going over Fibonacci in this particular episode. Before we get to using the specific tools that are outlined here in TradingView, in this particular tab here, that's where they're all based. What I want to do is kind of jump in and explain what Fibonacci is to begin with. All right, so we're just going to open this up. And this is a fantastic website to kind of give you a little bit of guidance. Right? It's called ElliottWavePlus.com. And I mean, you can guide yourself to come down here, but the link is right there. I'll make it available in the comment section. All right. But I wouldn't really care too much about reading this. It's just understanding what Fibonacci is. And this is really what it explains, okay? So, for example, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 plus 5 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, and so on. Okay? That is how Fibonacci works. That is the ratio, that is exactly how this kind of mathematical equation is calculated. And then what you're going to notice is the more you're going to try to actually divide those numbers amongst themselves, it's going to basically continue at 618 forever. Okay, so I believe when I got to 89 over 130, let's take a look at TradingView. There's no sense in guessing. Right, so I have it on my EMA ribbon. So when you get to 89 divided by 144, I believe that is when the 618 actually starts trending. Yeah, so it's 0.618055556. Okay, so now watch when we go 144 divided by 233 equals 1.6802575. Pretty close. Right, but the more we go, the more this number is going to be constant, right? So let's do 610 over 987. 618,03445, right? 987 divided by 1597. 618,03381. Okay, so you start getting the idea. And then we'll go 4181 divided by, oops, wrong one, 2584 divided by 4181 equals 618,03396. So you get the idea, right? Everything, the deeper that these numbers go, the more constant the value of 618 becomes. Okay, so as that keeps going, this is one really important thing to understand, that in math and nature, and this is a constant all throughout. Okay, and as you go down in this particular website, you're going to notice it's going to explain to you the arcs, the behavior in financial markets, all of these waves, the impulse waves, zigzags, whatever, Fibonacci construction of wave pattern complexity. Okay, Fibonacci ratios and the golden section and how to do all that, right? Fibonacci chart, so you can even extend this further. Instead of going up to 144, you could draw it further on. But you're going to notice something in particular, right? So 618, 618, 618, almost 618, almost 618, right? And that's how this ratio keeps continuing on forever and ever. And then look at this one. 1618, 1618, 1618, right? Everything that they are explaining on this website is kind of proven on the table. And this is a great information to have, to be able to utilize in your trading patterns inside of your TradingView. For example, right? I set up all my Fib channel numbers based on all those Fibonacci equations, right? So the ones that occur the most in nature are these numbers that are labeled right here. And that's how I set up my channel. And as you notice, I just popped that channel on, right? I connected it. I'll even connect these ones. I don't have to go that far in. But watch, once I connect those two and then I get the lowest point in between them, you can see how frequent that these lines are actually hit as points of resistance. Like it becomes a little bit uncanny how they act as support and resistance in a trend, right? So rather than just drawing parallel lines and hoping for the information, it's like, oh, well, it will stay between the lines, so that's good. That means it's going a certain direction. Like, sure, but now how do you know to take trades within those particular lines, right? This gives you a more clear-cut answer, and it shows you all the moves that happen within those particular spots, right? So, for example, if it moves down to here, what is drawing it to come down to there? Right? What's taking this particular currency pair in the direction that it's currently going in, right? So as we see here, for example, it has a peak and it hits right off that aqua line. But now it has another peak that bounces off, but it doesn't break this high. So this becomes a very valid point of resistance, right, before dropping lower. Now, why does it drop this low? Why doesn't it go all the way to the red? Right? Well, we're making new lows already if we're going horizontally. The difference is it's hovering around that area because before it just kind of broke through it, but now it's acting like a zone of support, right? And then same here. So it becomes very, very unique depending on the tools that you want to use. There's many at your disposal. The classic Fibonacci is called the Fib Retracement, right? So this one, it's just very simple. It's dragged from up to down, or down to up, right? Depending on where you want the information to be grabbed. So, for example, if we do going from up to down, we are already assuming that this is a downward trend, okay? And because of that, what's going to happen is all our retracement values are going to be at the top in order to find our entrance to be able to go lower. So I drew it from this point to this point on this particular chart, and then I just take this and I extend it, right? Because I want to see where it crosses over. So as you can see, the 786 and 618 around that area become very valid, right? And then it drops lower. So now it dropped all the way low. It dropped all the way down to here, right? So let's say, for example, we don't know that it went higher at this point, right? But it kind of made a bottom. So where could it potentially go to, right? So we start off from the next area because we aren't making a new high. So then we can take our fib, we can draw it there, and let's press play and see what happens. See, between the 50% and the 786, that's known as the golden zone. Pardon me, when it comes to trading. It just wicked off that area and then decided to go lower. So anywhere in this particular spot, that's where I'd be looking to enter a trade in any particular chart. Okay, so as we continue to go down, so now you see we formed the lower high right here and then a new low. So what we just need to determine is how high this is going to go. Okay, since we don't really know that, because we're just watching a replay, we want to make sure that we don't miss out on any of the trades. So if we draw this up, you'll see already that it's crossed that 786. So I believe that this is going to go a little bit higher. So it made a new high, right? So this one becomes invalidated, and pardon me. And now what we do in this instance, right, if it breaks that area and forms a new high, what you do is you take your Fibonacci from the lower part to the higher part, and then you're looking for a retracement around that same level, just inverted. All right, so it becomes our golden zone on the other side. So now we see where the chart's going to head. Oh, so you see, it just kind of double peaked around that same area and kept dropping lower. So we made a new low, right? But we did not make a new high. So this would validate that we're going to start our Fibonacci line from here. And right now, that's our lowest point, but we'll see if we go any lower before retracing. Nope, so that was it. So now look, as it plays out, okay, it comes right to that golden zone. It bounces right off that 618 line before starting to drop. So let's see. Oh, does it twice and then drops slightly below. So you see how this plays off right on Fibonacci. Okay. Now here's the thing. When it comes to a situation like this isn't guaranteed that it's going to go lower, but look, it does each time, right? It makes slightly lower drops each time, but it also comes up a little higher the first time and just a little bit lower the second. So what this would kind of entail is that there is limited trades to take within this area because it's ranging. It's doing deep consolidations, right? And that means that it's not just going sideways, but it's going up and down and sideways within that area, right? So just to kind of give you an idea, that's still about 300 pips of movement, right? There's very significant trades to be had within there, especially that you see it went here, but it did not close below that line, and then it did not, the wicks kind of hit that area. What are the chances it can happen again? I mean, it happened one, two times that it bounced off there, 3, 4 times. Right after the second, I'd be looking for, especially if it bounced off here again, I'd be looking to be able to grab it from here going down. It's the safest play. All right, but now we can get rid of the replay, and this is where the pair is currently sitting. Okay, so that is how you use the Fibonacci. Great way to set up, and again, this isn't how it comes standard on TradingView. This is how I set up mine. But to give you another example, as you saw right there, that was just kind of trades within that particular trend. So now what happens when we want to take kind of a larger area? So watch this. We go from that peak to that newest peak. Very interesting where it's sitting around right now, isn't it? So what's the possibility that this pair would be doing something like this, come down to this area and reverse and go higher? It's definitely possible, but what I'm seeing overall in the long term is that this is trending down. So it may be possible that it does go up, and by all means, it is definitely something that can happen. But the issue is that in the long term, it hasn't been breaking and setting any new highs, right? This is a lower high, and this is a higher low. So right now, what it's doing in the long term is just kind of forming a wedge. All I'm saying is that once you realize that there's potential areas for trades to bounce off of, or currency pairs I mean, trades are much more enticing to take and become a lot less risky. All right. So that kind of concludes the Fibonacci tutorial. I hope that it's been helpful for you. If there's any information you'd like to leave me or get your 2 cents out, just write it in the comments and I'll definitely address it when I see it. Thanks a lot. See you next time.